UB Squared Woodworks is brought to you by My Wallet. So, a couple of weeks ago, I posted a picture on my Facebook page of a custom kids name puzzle I made on my CNC for a coworker. He and his wife recently welcomed their first child. I didn't record it and wasn't planning on sharing publicly until he had received it. However, we're not friends on social media, and it is in the mail currently. Almost immediately, I started getting requests from other friends. I let them know I'm charging $25 for the first 3 letters and $10 per letter thereafter. The orders started flowing in as frequently as in the rain in May and June here in Georgia. So I jumped into VCarve and designed the first of many. Full disclosure, I did purchase the font for the letters from Ryan Drapella at CIC Workshop, but each puzzle is custom, so it does require some work to create each one. I'll place a link in the description below for the file if you want to make one yourself. This one is for the nephew of a very good friend of mine. At the time of recording, he is 1, so it may be a minute before he figures it out, unless we determine he's Sheldon Cooper, in which case he'll have it mastered very soon. I zeroed the X and Y axis off the center of the piece of cherry I milled up for the base. Next, I chucked up a brand new spiral downcut bit into the router, because nothing says I mean business like a fresh bit and a silent prayer. You may have noticed the fancy handles on my router wrenches. Yep, those are 3D printed. I made them myself because ergonomics matter and so does avoiding busted knuckles. If there's enough interest, I may toss them into my Etsy store. That is if I don't rage quit Etsy altogether. The market there is about as saturated as a sponge in a kiddie pool. And let's just say the sales graph isn't breaking records. So I started the card. This to me is probably the most satisfying part of CNC. Watching a new bit eat hardwood and make chips instead of sawdust is how you know it's really dialed in. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing, but I wanted to start with the actual speed so you can see what it looks like in real time. Let's speed things up so you don't get bored. This entire toolpath took less than 5 minutes, but I don't have the voice for keeping your attention that long. These letter pockets are pretty small and are a pain to sand, like trying to clean your ears with a drywall sponge. So to save myself some misery, I always run the toolpath one more time to shave off the fuzzies and pretend I planned it that way. One thing I'm great at is forgetting to start the recording. I started the profile pass for the base and then started the camera about 3/4 of the way through. Hopefully you didn't click on this video just to see me start a profile pass. Next, I trimmed off a piece of my scrap walnut panel to cut the letters from and secured it to the wasteboard with double-sided tape. I re-zeroed the XY axis, hit start on the carve, and yeah, see that T-track placement? Things were going great until they weren't. I finished cutting out the letters with no issues and recut the E later off camera, but this time I secured it on a portion of the wasteboard that didn't have a giant chasm running through it. I freed the letters, peeled off the tape, and gave the wasteboard a quick cleanup before setting up my laser to engrave my logo. I'm currently using an EG3 Max 10-watt diode laser, and let's just say I won't be linking this one in the description below. Not because it's awful, but because it's as moody as a cat in a bathtub. It gets the job done eventually. Engraving my logo takes about 25 minutes, depending on the material. One day I'll upgrade to a CO2 laser, but for now, I'm working with what the budget fairy allows. Next comes everyone's favorite part, sanding. I won't pretend you came here to watch this, and I cut out as much as I could. I used my orbital sander on the base, which didn't take very long. I had sanded to 180 grit prior to carving, so it really just needed a little cleanup to the faces and edges. For the letters, I enlisted the help of my Milwaukee detail sander. It's perfect for getting into all the nooks, crannies, and hard to reach areas. It really is a game changer in my shop and only takes about a minute per letter, which is just enough time to question all of my life choices and then move on. If you're still here, thank you. If you found this useful, or at least mildly entertaining, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I've got a ton of project ideas I want to share, and your support really helps keep me going. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. I reply to each one personally, and I'm happy to help however I can. I'll leave links to all the tools and supplies I used in the description below. Just so you know, none of this is sponsored. No kickbacks, no affiliate links. Just me and my tools. Thanks again for watching, and happy carving.